Now I'm going to show you that machine that we took, Yamaha Raptor 80, and merged it with a Honda 250X to create this hybrid race machine for my son. If you'll take a look, as you can see, now we've got the dual A-arm suspension on this Raptor 80. Before, it was a single unimember front end with two shocks on it. Now you can see the dual A-arm design. That's more optimal for racing, plus won't beat the crud out of you when you're going over bumps and things. If you'll come a little closer here, you can see that there was 3 different connection points that we had to keep in mind when we were doing this design and fabrication. One was down at the bottom of the frame on the main chassis of the quad. The other one was at the midpoint here where the frame went out to the original unistrut style design front end, and then a top connection point to the top of the chassis and the frame here. What was important on this whole deal was to make sure we kept our angles at the optimal degree, coming from the bottom side of this frame into the front end of the new 250X front end, as well as the suspension travel angles to make sure we were getting the optimal suspension angle travel to make this thing perform how it needed to. So as you can tell, this whole design was done right here in our family shop. Turned out great. It allowed my son to get into this sport at very minimal cost, because keep in mind, this was a scrap machine we took and were able to fabricate it on the front end of an existing machine, so cost was close to zero on this whole project. One other area we changed, that if you want to come take a look, was on the rear suspension of the machine. Rear suspension of these machines were very poorly designed too, with very minimal travel. So in order to give it more travel in the rear end as well, we replaced the shock mounts on the rear shock of the machine. If you can come around here, please. As you can tell, this was the original locations of the shock mounts, which was on top of the axle housing and just right here underneath the back of the seat. We actually fabricated 2 different brackets and replaced it with a long travel shock to attach lower on the axle and further up under the frame of the machine, giving him a lot more travel. So this is an example of some crazy project I came up to do here on the family farm and allow my kids to have something and be safe doing something that they have a passion for. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I think I can bring a whole new element to the show that you're wanting to do. And once again, thanks for the opportunity.